is Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I'm going to be making the teddy dress by my keeper. Sometimes you just come across a pattern and as soon as you see it, you can just see yourself wearing it and you know you're going to make it, and that is exactly what happened when I first saw the teddy dress. The teddy dress is quite a form-fitting dress, which is a little bit out of my comfort zone, I'm not gonna lie, but there's just something about it I just think is so unbelievably stunning. I love the long length of the dress, and it also has this really lovely corset style tie-up side detail. I don't know, there is something about this dress that is just so stunning to me. So as soon as the pattern was available, I purchased it immediately and I'm so excited to make this dress today. I'm going to be making my teddy dress out of some printed floral rayon fabric. I picked up this fabric from Spotlight recently and it's honestly such a beautiful floral print. It's a bit different to what I usually go for. Usually I'm more drawn to finer and smaller floral prints, but this one's quite a large floral print in a very dark color scheme and I adore it. Something about the print of this fabric gives me really strong 90s vibes, and the teddy dress design also gives me strong 90s vibes, so I feel like the two together are just going to be a match made in heaven, and I'm so excited to see how this floral rayon turns out in this style of dress. It is currently the middle of winter and this dress I feel like is going to be a really good one for summertime, but I do feel like this dress will be really great for layering turtlenecks underneath, and I also think my chunky Doc Martens over the winter time with this dress is just going to be such a vibe. But yeah, I have all the template pieces cut out ready to go over on my cutting table, so yeah, let's get into it and cut this dress out of this fabric. Okay, so I've just laid out a few of the template pieces onto the fabric. I am going to be making size 8, which fingers crossed is going to be a good size for me. My measurements are slightly smaller than the size 8 and they say to size up, so that is what I'm doing. I've also decided to go the scooped neck. There is a high neck option, but I think I like the look of the scoop neck. I'm not 100% sure if this fabric has a direction because the flat floral print is quite busy, but I think just because there's like a few, where are they now? Like this one here, see how the leaves are at the bottom? I feel like that means the print like goes up that way. So I've decided I'm gonna put the dress front and the dress back in the correct direction, but to make the most of the fabric, I'm going to be putting the side panels the other way, because you're not going to see those anyway, so it won't matter. And instead of cutting the dress front out just in one piece, I've decided to fold it in half and cut it out on the fold of the fabric instead, which is suggested in the instructions. So I just feel like that will be an easier way to go about cutting out that piece. Okay, so all of the pieces are now cut out, ready to start sewing. It looks like this dress is going to be made up of multiple panels of fabric to give the dress shape, which is a type of design in dressmaking that I really love working with. There are a lot of like long curved shapes, and once all the shapes are sewn together, it kind of gives the dress shape in the curved areas. It's just like pattern magic. And can we just take a moment to talk about how beautiful the instructions are for the teddy dress? The whole color scheme is like blue and pink on the inside. I think that is just such a cute little touch to this pattern, and having instructions that look beautiful like this just makes the whole sewing process so enjoyable. I don't know, it's really cool. So I've just had a quick little read of the instructions, and apparently rayon is a good choice because it will drape beautifully, offering a fluid, flowy silhouette, which is exactly what I'm hoping for this dress. Like I said, I'm making the size 8. I'm a little bit concerned that it might be a bit small. Hopefully not. Like I said, I fall just underneath the size 8 measurements, but it does say this garment does not have much ease. If you want a snug fit, go for your exact size up if you want a little wriggle room. So I feel like this is going to be quite a snug fit because yeah, I'm just a little bit below the size 8 measurements, and in some cases I'm exact. So hopefully there's a bit of extra give in the hips, because it does also say the most important measurement here is the bust, so stick with that one if you're unsure. And the size 10 bust was way too big for me, so that's why I've gone with the 8.
Obviously, all of this sizing anxiety could easily be eliminated by making a mock-up version of this dress first, but making mock-ups or toiles or however you pronounce it of garments genuinely ruins the joy and fun of sewing for me personally. Luckily, touch wood, so far I haven't really had a garment ever fail due to sizing yet, as I'm lucky to be a pretty average size, but I do definitely recommend you do a mock-up if you're ever unsure of the pattern sizing. Basically, I'm saying you should do as I say and not as I do on this one.
So to start off with, we're going to work on the ties and the little tie loop pieces. So the ties of these pieces here, I love that they're so long. So there are 4 of these rectangles cut out, and then 2 of them get stitched together to create one super long tie. And obviously we need 1 tie for each side. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on making those. And then I have another rectangle here that is going to be the tie loops, and I think we do a similar method as for making the tie, but then we cut these up to create little mini loops. So yeah, let's get started with this dress. So I'm just getting started on the next tie, and I realized it was going to save me so much more time if I actually used a bias binder maker for this. Obviously this isn't technically bias binding because it hasn't been cut on the bias, but it still feeds through the bias binder maker really nicely, which just saves me a step and will make making these ties and the tie loops so much quicker. Ties are finally done, and that ended up taking quite a bit of time, but I think it's good we got them over and done with early, because really now we're up to the fun part. I also at the same time made the ties that will become the tie loops. These are a bit shorter, and here on the template piece we have the cut lines, and we're going to need about 20 to 24. So yeah, may as well cut these now, and then we need to attach them onto the side panels. Okay, so I've done something wrong because I've ended up with double the amount of loops I needed. So yeah, don't know what happened there. I think I just misunderstood the instructions, but I've got most of the loops attached. I'm actually out of the sewing clips, so I need to stitch some of these loops in place so I can attach the last 2. But look at these cute little loops.
Aren't they adorable? I love this fabric so much as well. I just think it is so stunning. I just can't help but look at it. I don't know, it's just very different to my usual style when it comes to fabric, but I am so in love. It is like a piece of art. Okay, so we've got the little loops attached. Oh, they're so adorable. And now we need to attach the pockets to the side panels, I think. So we'll pop these aside for later. Let me go get the side panels. Place each pocket piece right sides together with the corresponding side seam, side and front side. Okay, so we need the front side pieces. So I'll pop the back one away. Pin and sew the pocket to the dress using one seam. Okay, one of these is a pocket notch. Which one? They might be the pocket notches, because this piece has those two as well. They line up pretty well. I'm assuming that's the pocket notch. Let's see if the pockets fit there. That seems about right. Okay, so I have just stitched the pockets in place, and now I need to take all the remaining dress panels and stitch them together, starting from the dress center front and then adding the front sides, the side panel, the back sides, and then the back to create a full dress. It's kind of reminded me very much of my clover skirt pattern that's also made up of a whole heap of panels, and you kind of just stitch all the different pieces together to create the shape of the skirt, which does make for a very quick make, and I'm not upset about that because already this dress is starting to take shape, which is really exciting. I'm going to spend a bit of time stitching all the panels together now, and then we'll see how the dress is looking, and hopefully maybe I'll be able to slightly try it on and see if it fits me. Quite a while later, and I've now stitched all of the panels of the dress together. So now I actually need to stitch the fronts to the back at the shoulders, and then I'm going to try it on, and fingers crossed it fits.
Okay, I've just tried it on and I can safely say it's going to fit. The armholes are just slightly gaping, but I'm pretty sure once the back's all secured with the zip, that won't gape as much. It's so flattering. Honestly, this style just cinches in at all the right places. It's going to be such a stunning dress. I am over the moon. So now I need to actually stitch the back together by stitching in an invisible zip, and then we basically just need to add some bias binding to the neck and the armhole edges, and then we're done. This is such a quick make, and just look how gorgeous it is. I am in love with this dress. I've also just realized that of course the underarms are gaping a little bit. This side panel is where the tie is going to go, and that's all going to like cinch in. It's meant to be a bit baggy at the side so we can cinch it in with the ties. I completely forgot. We also need to like thread these into the sides as well, but that is probably going to be the last step. So yeah, let's put the zip in. Okay, the dress is very nearly finished. I just need to thread the ties into the side panels, and the instructions don't actually go into detail on how to do this, but I think it will be pretty straightforward. The actual illustration on the instructions have the ties finish up the top, but I actually love the look of when people have made this dress that I've seen, they've had the ties come down so they're like hanging down the bottom, which I think looks really good. So that's what I'm going to try and do. If I just get these folded in half in the middle, it should just be like threading a shoe, I'm assuming. Let's give it a go. Actually, I wonder if it'd be easier. To make it a bit easier, I'm going to use a safety pin to see if threading the ties with the safety pin might make it a little bit easier. Okay, that did make it easier. If I thread this till it's halfway, alright. Oh, we don't want it twisting. Cool, still about halfway. Now I think we just like crisscross it like lacing a pair of shoes. That's what I'm gonna try anyway. The dress is done. I cannot believe how beautiful this dress is. I haven't hemmed it yet, and that's because when I'm working with rayon, I know this hasn't been cut out on the bias or anything, but I do find rayon needs to sit for a few days before I hem it, so I'm gonna leave it to sit and to settle. Then I'll hem it, then I'll get some proper shots of me wearing this dress so you can get a good proper look at it. It is divine. What an absolute dream this dress has turned out to be. Like I said at the start of the video, I knew as soon as I saw this dress that I had to make it. It is just so incredibly stunning. The dress itself just cinches in all the right spots and goes out in all the right spots, so I just feel $1 million wearing this dress. The side details are stunning, just something a little bit different and a little bit unexpected. And it has been quite a big day of sewing. I managed to finish filming this video just before the sun sets here, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, I was able to squeeze it in just one day, which if you were just sewing without filming, you could easily whip it up in a few hours, I reckon. But yeah, I could not be happier with how this dress turned out. It is so great in this fabric. If you're thinking of making this dress, then I 100% recommend rayon. It just has created the most floaty and just dreamy dress. I am so in love, and it really is pattern magic how the different panels have slight curves that once joined create just the perfect fitted dress. It is exquisite pattern design, and I think if you're a very confident beginner, you shouldn't have too many issues tackling this project. I think apart from the zip, it's all very straightforward and very honestly quite easy. And yeah, I 100% recommend it because it is absolutely stunning. So I hope you enjoyed following along as I sew up this dreamy teddy dress. I just cannot get over how much I love this dress. Like, I knew I was going to like it, but I love it so much. I will be sure to link the pattern down in the description below if you did want to go and check it out. Sarah from My Keeper has a lot of different other patterns available as well, so there's lots to look through. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more sewing type videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one.